Hello fellow travelers, Graham here. Today we're at the abandoned ruins of the Stone Butter Church. Legend has it that locals won't step a foot inside because this place is haunted. Let's go check it out. Locals on Vancouver Island claim that the mysterious Stone Butter Church in Duncan, British Columbia is haunted. Sitting atop a windswept hill overlooking the ocean, it's easy to see how it could have gotten that reputation. It was constructed around 1870 by Roman Catholic missionary priest Father Peter Rondeau. The priest also worked as a farmer, and the church gets its name from the pounds of butter that he sold in order to raise funds for its construction. Although it's made out of sandstone and built to last, it was abandoned less than 10 years after the construction completed, when the church decided to rebuild on a spot of church-owned land less than a mile away. The new church came into service around 1880, but several years later it burned down and had to be rebuilt a final time. Around that time, Father Rondeau passed away at the age of 76 and was laid to rest on church grounds near that final church. The Stone Butter Church has weathered the test of time and has stood for 140 years, more or less in the same shape as when it was first constructed. During that time, it's been exposed to the elements, with the doors and windows having been removed. The stained glass windows were moved to a nearby church on Salt Spring Island. There has been some minor upkeep done to the church over the years. In 1958, a new roof was installed by the Native Sons of British Columbia. In 1968, a plaque was installed to commemorate the history of the church, but was later stolen. It read, "This landmark was built in 1870 by Father Peter Rondeau, pioneer Oblate missionary to the Cowichan Indians. Helpers were paid through the sale of butter churned by the priest. It was abandoned in 1880 in favor of St. Anne's at Sulaham. Restoration was a 1958 centennial project of the Cowichan Indians, Native Sons of British Columbia, and Duncan area residents and firms." In 1931, the Stone Butter Church gained notoriety when it was highlighted in a Ripley's Believe It or Not story. Always with a flair for the dramatic, Ripley's claimed that the church had never had any services and no congregation had ever gathered. According to Ripley, the local Indians would not go near the church because everyone involved with the construction of the church had died under mysterious circumstances. Of course, we know that the church had held services for a period of about 10 years before being abandoned, and the rumors of deaths were never substantiated. But that didn't prevent the Stone Butter Church from gaining a reputation as a haunted and forlorn place. Rumors persist about strange sounds echoing through the church on dark, cloudy nights. And visitors have experienced eerie feelings, cold spots, and the feeling of being watched. Guests have even claimed that spirits have followed them home after they visited the Stone Butter Church. The source of these spirits is uncertain. They could stem from the fact that it's built on native land where sacred sites are not to be disturbed. They could be from the graveyard which is adjacent to the abandoned church. Or the happenings could even be due to its close proximity to Mount Sulaham, where the apparition of a First Nations warrior has been reported. Chief Sulaham was known as a mystic who talked to spirits, including a cannibal spirit that helped him kill people. But for whatever reason, it's easy to see how the imposing figure of this abandoned church could cause imaginations to run wild. Thanks for joining. We're heading off on another adventure soon. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, it's time to exit through the gift shop.